Hello and welcome to my channel. On today's episode, we are going over some of the top 5 healers in the Marvel Rivals game. Now, this is based on comfortability, based on how well they heal and how strong they are at healing within the game. This is not really going over the amount of damage, but pretty much some of the better healers that I've done well with, and some of the better healers you'll see in the topper ranking games like Grandmaster and above. So let us start off with number 5. Number 5 would be Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon has been known to be hated on for a little while, but now it's considered one of the more better supports to have on your team. Now, the good thing about Rocket Raccoon is, as you're seeing here, I can shoot and shoot out his healing balls that pretty much bounce off and heal as they go. Now, the downside to Rocket Raccoon is that he only has this way to heal. He really doesn't heal much anywhere else, but the upside is he can revive you with this relay, and when he gets his ult, his amplifier allows your team to do more damage. So he's more of a good support with damage buffs, but his healing is lacking and can only heal with his L2 or his alternate ammo. So, but he does get a spot on this list above other healers because of his good support both in healing and damage buffs. Number 4 would be Loki. Now, Loki is really good with his clones. And the reason why I like Loki is because not only can they do healing at a triple rate, they can do damage at a triple rate as well. And you can basically swap to one of your clones when you're in danger. And when you hit R1, sorry, not R1, L1 on the PlayStation controller, you have these healing pods, and wherever Loki or his clones are, you're going to get healed. On top of which, Loki can go invisible and basically disappear to get himself out of danger, and his ult allows you to copy another player. Now, the downside to Loki is, if you take out his lamps, the healing's gone. If he chooses to copy another DPS or tank, there's no healer on your team, so you're down a healer. Loki's ult is better when you choose another healer from either your team or an enemy team, and his healing is good when you have most of your clones out and or using his lamps. The downside again to his clones is if they're hidden behind a wall or corner, you're not getting that extra damage or heals. But overall, he is a great character to have on your team as a healer. Number 3, Invisible Woman. Now, I have enjoyed Invisible Woman as a new character, and thanks to, there's not a lot of patches around her, but thanks to the patch that increased her invisible wall, which is her ult, she has become a very powerful asset that can be on your team. Tim the Tatman plays her, and Tim Tatman's actually pretty good, along with other top streamers. I've actually done a lot of videos or spectated a lot of one above all matches where someone took Invisible Woman to the next level. Now, what makes her so great is, one, her ability to do a vortex field that does damage over time, her ability to not only do damage but heal with her invisible, invisible balls? I'll say invisible balls. Pause. Invisible shots. That not only bounce between your allies and the enemy, but come back to Invisible Woman to do damage and heal your team at the same time. Also, she has the ability to use a push or pull. Now, a push can be good to push enemies away, or a pull can be good to take flyers in or bring someone back into your vortex field. Now, the other way that Invisible Woman heals not only herself but others is her invisible wall that has 300 hit points. Now, the downside to Invisible Woman is the only real way that she heals herself is through basically her shield and or invisible walls. So she's not one of those types of healers that gets a lot of good healing towards herself, like maybe a Cloak and Dagger and or a Luna Snow. So I'll show you this over here. We'll go and start healing this person. So let's take a couple shots, right? And if I heal, if I start healing, you see that I heal and do damage at the same time. But if I put up the shield and stand next to it, it heals her. And then, of course, we have Disappear, one of my favorite alts in the game. Number 2, Cloak and Dagger. Now, Dagger is the one you're going to use the majority of, and her ability to do damage and heal with her hit scan abilities is top notch. So if you have that little marker on there, it's easier for you to basically hit your target and or heal your target. On top of which, she has the ability to send out a healing wall that as you're moving forward towards your allies, you can send out to heal them as well. But my favorite part is her healing bubble, which is one of the few ways that she can heal herself along with her team. And by standing in this and doing damage and or healing your allies, it really does help to keep you alive and to keep healing your teammates. But her ult is one of my favorites because her ult allows you and Cloak to go in, move forward a couple of times, and then move back to not only do damage and push the enemy back, but heal your team at the same time, and I will demonstrate that right now.
Against the world.
Now, the latest patch pretty much takes away the fact that you can stack it, but by standing in this healing field, you can switch to Cloak and do damage while being in there and keep getting your heals. It's one of the few times that you use Cloak if you also use Cloak to blind your enemies, which also does damage. But you're mostly using Dagger when it comes to this, and I feel like her hit scan, especially against flyers, to take damage on them because they can be annoying, is one of the better ways to use a healer. And the number one choice for healer for myself and possibly for you is Luna Snow for a couple of reasons. One, she has a great amount of damage and heals that can help not only heal your team but take down the enemy. I've used her many times. I have a video on her on how to use her and show how great she is as a healer. She has the ability to increase her powers and healing by using R1 to place the controller. She also has the ability to freeze her enemies and stop them in their tracks. And as you saw, as I froze him, he took even more damage. But the best part about Luna Snow is her ability to do L1 to place the controller that puts a snowflake against one of your allies. So while you're healing another person, you're healing them as well, even if they're off in the distance. And that snowflake stays on them even if they die. The only time, if I believe, the only time it's removed is when you die as Luna Snow. And she also heals by doing through this, so she can heal by using the R1, where basically she claps her hands to do a more powerful attack, and she also takes heals for when she uses her Ice Blast to freeze an enemy. So Luna Snow is a great healer and used a lot at the top level if she's not banned, which can happen a lot. But it's her synergy along with Namor that gives him an extra spawn that freezes the enemy that makes her synergy even better. But not Blast. Her ability to move on the field. When you start moving Luna Snow, you are skating and you are extremely fast to get you close and not back to your teammates, but also out of danger. I cannot tell you how often I choose Luna Snow to help my team. She's a great healer and has won me a lot of battles, especially with teams that need a great healer along with other supports. Now, with that being said, a lot of these healers need usually extra support, like with Rocket or with Wonder Woman, but with Luna Snow or Cloak and Dagger, a lot of the times you can solo heal, but it's always nice to have 2 or 3 healers. But this is my number one pick overall. Now, again, as I've said before, I'm not saying that the other healers don't have their purpose or that you're not going to do well with them. You know, Adam Warlock has a great revival, like a great healing, great damage, great ult that can be, if used correctly, can revive your team and change the battle. Mantis, again, if used with Adam Warlock, has great heals, great damage increase. But the only thing I don't like about Mantis is, honestly, she's very basic, and I think the reason why I didn't choose her a lot was because of it's hard for me to heal herself, or the reason why I didn't like her is because her damage, like her main attack, doesn't heal if you're hitting the ally. You can only do it through her abilities. And then Jeffrey the Shark, I just hate overall. So that's just personal opinion. I think that's just biased. I just hate Jeffrey the Shark. I think he's confusing. I think anyone who uses a Jeffrey sometimes is just more selfish and going to do damage more than healing. But that's just me. With that being said, Please sub to see more content. Comment your thoughts on who your favorite healer is or who your least favorite healer is. And of course, tell me your top 5 healers in general. I thank you for watching. Appreciate you watching. Go check out my channel for more for more gameplay content, character reviews, and more Marvel Rival content. And if you want to see single player content, single player campaigns of the most recent games or even games in the past, check out Snippy Joker 2.0. I have Snippy Joker Shorts for short form content, and I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Again, thank you for watching. Appreciate the support. Hit the like, put a comment, and sub to help me grow. And I'll see you on the next one.